The beauty of Heber Valley has continued to draw new residents for more than 100 years, but never at such a pace as we are seeing today. What was once a rural farming and ranching community has become a bedroom community for cities along the Wasatch Front, with families seeking an improved quality of life. Recent studies have shown that Wasatch County is the fastest growing county in the state of Utah and is also the third fastest growing county in the country. The reputation of Wasatch County School District as an academic leader is one of the contributing factors that adds to the community's rapid growth. To empirically determine the needs of our growing community and its students, the district recently invested in an extensive demographic study. Wasatch County currently has 107 known active and planned new housing projects, with specific plans to build nearly 3,000 new housing units by 2025. In addition, they project another 5,300 single-family units and 4,100 single-family apartments will be built during the coming decade. They also noted that there are two major master plan communities which do not yet have firm starting dates and whose numbers were not included in the study. The bulk of this growth will occur in Midway, the Jordanelle area, and eastern Wasatch County. Based on projections, student population is expected to increase steadily over the next 7 years, growing at a rate of more than 22%, which would add close to 1,600 students to our population. This would bring our total student enrollment in the valley to nearly 8,600 students. With this rapid increase in numbers of students at Wasatch High School, some have asked why additional rooms are not being built to accommodate the growth. The addition of Daniels Canyon Elementary and Timpanogos Middle School left the district with a vacant intermediate school next to the high school. This building has been repurposed as an extension of the Wasatch High School campus. By using classrooms in an existing building, the school district avoided the costs of remodeling Wasatch High School. This effectively saved the county residents millions of dollars. Currently, in the old intermediate school, there are over 30 classrooms which are used by the high school each period of every school day. Using the old intermediate school as a west campus for Wasatch High School has enabled the district to avoid the multi-million-dollar cost of expanding the classrooms and still provide students outstanding experiences without expensive renovation of the high school. The question now is, how big should the district allow the high school to become? The current Wasatch High School opened in 2009 with 1,300 students. Today, the building houses more than 2,350 students, with hundreds of students overflowing into the nearby West Campus each period of every day. By the year 2025, it is projected that Wasatch High School will have 2,840 students, which would make Wasatch one of the largest high schools in the state. During the most recent realignment of schools in Utah, Wasatch High School was a bubble school, teetering between 5A and 6A in classification. With the continued growth which has been forecast, Wasatch could easily become a 6A school within just a few years. If the high school were split into two schools today, it is likely that the population of each would put them in the 4A classification. As growth has accelerated, the population has quickly surpassed the projected capacity of the school. The bell schedule allows for 2 separate lunch periods, but tables spill out of the cafeteria and into the commons area during both lunches. As school conditions change, the security of the individual student is always the most critical factor. A larger school campus and a larger student community become a more anonymous environment. In larger schools, opportunities for individual student involvement are restricted by the sheer number of students. For example, there are still only 16 Sterling Scholars per school, 1 or 2 leads in the school play, or 5 players on the basketball court at a time. According to the National Education Association, involvement in extracurricular activities can have a strong positive impact on the academic performance of students. Larger schools limit this involvement, and the feeling of community diminishes as more students find themselves isolated in the crowd. On the other side of the valley, Midway Elementary was built more than 40 years ago to house 350 students. Since that time, to accommodate the growth in student population, the building has been expanded and updated. With the growth that the west side of Wasatch County has experienced, the school is again feeling the impact of overcrowding in the library, cafeteria, hallways, and parking lots. The bond issue that Wasatch County School District is placing on the ballot is two-pronged. First, Midway Elementary is to be replaced with a modern facility that meets the standards of our other elementary schools. Such a facility would provide accommodations for Midway students for the foreseeable future. This school would be built just south of the current Midway Elementary School on property which the district has recently placed under contract just south of Mitchie Lane. Without an updated building, it is clear that some Midway Elementary students will need to be bused across the valley to other elementary schools in the near future. The second part of the bond issue is the proposal to build an additional high school designed to meet the needs of our growing community. Two high schools with lower student populations will help district educators provide the positive school culture and student opportunities that have long been enjoyed at Wasatch High School. This new school would be based on the current Wasatch High School design and would be built on property recently placed under contract by the Board of Education. This property is located on the west edge of Heber City, north of Midway Lane. Boundaries for the two schools would approximately follow current middle school configurations and would likely result in two 4A high schools. Creating multiple smaller population high schools and maintaining neighborhood elementary schools is a strategy currently and successfully being employed by our peers in Cache County and Washington County school districts. Preserving smaller student populations in fast-growing rural districts is a challenge being faced across the state, and it's one that we are willing to undertake. Determining the cost of a new school months in advance is very challenging since many factors play into the price. What will the labor costs be at the time of construction? Will there be a high demand for specific materials? Will weather complicate the projects? What is the schedule for construction? All of these things and many others are unknown. However, the school board has been watching construction costs around the state for the past few years, planning for future projects. While it is impossible to predict exactly what the price will be if it is bid next January or February, pending a successful November vote, it is possible to show the costs of the most recent high schools being built in Utah today. In 2018, Hillcrest and Brighton High Schools, both with populations similar to Wasatch High School, were put out to bid. Hillcrest's actual cost was $113,700,000 and Brighton was $107 million. When these figures are adjusted for the 6% annual increase in production costs since then, they would average a little more than $120 million for each of the schools. Hillcrest and Brighton are both rebuild-in-place projects, which raises the cost somewhat over normal construction costs. However, because they are rebuilds, they do not include any land costs in their total budgets, making the two projects similar in scope to Wasatch's project. The price tag for the new Timpview High School, also a rebuild with some seismic issues but no additional land cost, is said to be as high as $145 million. The cost of constructing a new elementary school, similar to the other elementary schools built in Wasatch County School District, is projected to come in between $21 million and $23 million. The current projected cost of a construction of a new high school and a replacement elementary school in Wasatch County is $150 million. That would mean an approximate annual cost of $47 per $100,000 of property value for primary homeowners. That translates to $263 for a $560,000 home, which is the cost of an average home in Wasatch County. A $400,000 home would see the taxes go up $188. It's a given in Wasatch County that growth will continue into the foreseeable future. In the event that these schools come in under budget, it is the intention of the school board to use the remaining funds to purchase future school sites. Currently, Wasatch County School District is repaying two bonds. A year ago, the 15-year bond for Old Mill Elementary was retired. The district is still paying on the 2007 bond for Wasatch High School, and the other remaining bond is for the 2016 project that built Timpanogos Middle School, Daniels Canyon Elementary, and the Wasatch Aquatic Center. The high school bond is a 20-year bond and will be retired in 8 years. The third bond also is a 20-year bond and will be retired in 2036. However, it is important to realize how the cost of each of these bonds has changed over time for taxpayers. The voter-approved assessment for the 2007 high school bond was for $78.32 per $100,000 of value for your home. That amount has dropped 27.5% to $56.76 and continues to decrease as more people move into the valley and share in that repayment. Likewise, the 2016 bond was approved for $67.04 and is already more than 40% lower at $40.19 per $100,000. Between 3,000 and 10,000 new homes will be completed in the valley in the next decade, according to the growth study commissioned by the school district. Each of those new homes will bear a share of the repayment cost of those bonds, reducing the financial impact on everyone. We encourage you to reach out to your school board representative with questions or concerns. Your input on these projects is important, as the school district strives to align the needs of the students with the desires of the community. Working together, we can provide our children with the educational opportunities that will prepare them to be successful and productive citizens.